At the camera, though. Circle.
With a circle. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But see, from where you're at, because you're already looking at an angle, it might. All right. Hey, so, nah. You think you repeat that last one? I was like, his phone was ringing. He was looking down like this. He was like. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy, JusB. And welcome back to the JusB Show. Now, as you know, this particular series is called Talented Friends. It's where I travel all over the world when the world ain't all crazy and hectic. It don't matter if I'm skydiving, in a cave, hiking. I can be deep sea fishing. I could be in the mall, in the grocery store, anywhere, and I meet a whole bunch of people. Now, the way that I operate is, once I meet you, you instantly become my friend. As long as we got a dope vibe and you got good energy, you become my friend. And then I invite you to Las Vegas, whether you're local or across the whole damn globe in a different country. I invite you and we sit down and we have a dope conversation about where you been, what you doing right now, where you going. I focus on self-love, unity, and progression, and I live by it. So, thanks for tapping in with me. Man, make sure y'all like, share, follow, subscribe, and everything. Feel free to put comments in the comment section below, and let's get it popping. Now today, oh man, I know y'all already recognize this face. This man right here be all over the place in Las Vegas. I promise you, he be all over the place. He's been known to have 5 to 6 barbershops, salons. Man, back in the day when I was younger, you know what I'm saying, like my early 20s, we was at the Ice House Lounge, Sultan's, whatever, what was it called?
Sultan's Table, yeah.
Sultan's Table. We was all over the place. He used to be like, yo, pull up, man, come dance.
Right.
So me and my boy used to go out there and we'd just have a good time. But now he's doing so much more that involves the community, especially the North Las Vegas community, man. So I want to welcome my homeboy, Robert Taylor, a.k.a. Twixx.
Hey.
Man, y'all know him, man. Thanks for tapping in with me, man. It's definitely an honor to have you on because you really be out here grinding.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Congratulations to you because the show was live.
Right.
You didn't got so many shows under your belt already.
Yeah.
Like I've done a lot of podcasts, bro.
Right.
In this year, you're condensed how you did so many shows, good shows, quality. I give it up, bro. You done that.
Thank
You
you,
been
man.
your grind.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm grinding hard, man. I'm pushing 200 right now.
Woo.
Yeah, I've been doing this since May 15th of last year.
Wow.
That was I didn't even know what a podcast was.
God. Dope.
My goal is 200 for this year alone.
Jeez.
It's a challenge with my CEO, Chris Cash.
Woo. Well,
yeah,
you gotta
man.
get that.
He gonna do 200 full songs, produced, recorded, mastered, and dropped. And I think he gonna have like visuals for like 70 of them or something.
Woo. Oh, y'all ain't playing. Oh, this is where the work is done at.
Man, this
is
is
where the work's at.
done. Man,
Okay,
man, we the kings of content.
Indeed.
You feel me? But as you know, man, like I just said, we focus on self-love, unity, and progression. The rules is just be yourself.
Yes.
Be authentic, real, raw, and uncut.
Yes.
You feel me? I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Mm-hmm. You're more than welcome to answer them. But if not, you know, the same though you walked in, you can walk out.
No problem.
And we can figure it out later, man. So if you ready, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Cool, man. Again, make sure, you know what, as a matter of fact, if you know Twixx already, share this. Share this.
Sharing is caring.
The love. Sharing is definitely caring. Support. Unity, y'all. We Vegas. We got to put Vegas on the map, man. And I'm definitely representing for my community as well as Twixx. So let's get it popping. Yes. Man, let's start. Man, I got so many questions for you, bro.
All right. I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
So, I mean, I know you to do all of these things, but let's start in high school. What high school did you ever go to?
I went to Cheyenne High School and Votech.
And that's where you learned to do the Votech.
Yeah, so I went to Cheyenne when Cheyenne like opened up.
Oh,
so we're the ones who gave Cheyenne that so-called name to where Cheyenne was a school to be at. You know what I mean? So then I realized it was getting a little too fun over there, and I wasn't getting work done like I should have. So then I took my talents to Votech.
Right. I mean, that's dope that you was even mature enough to, at least disciplined enough to recognize that.
At a young age,
yeah. As a young age, because I went to Vegas High School. Big shout out to my boys Wildcats, you feel me? But like, bro, I was into the girls.
Yeah.
I wasn't, the only time I was leaving is if I was following the women.
I took chorus class just so I could be around the women. So I understand.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably why I started dancing the way I was.
Yeah. All my friends had weight training.
Right.
He's like, what you got? I said, I got chorus. Why you get chorus? I said, I'm the only man.
Yeah,
smart.
Right. Yeah. I ain't take weight training either. I was like, lift a weight.
I'm like good.
Being skinny. I'm cool with that. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So I mean, during high school, like what type of high schooler, like teenager, would you say you was, man?
You know what? I'm a humble, but the best way to explain it, if you ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller Days Off,
Okay.
that was like my life in high school. Like all the teachers loved me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had a good relationship with everybody. You know, had my girlfriend situation going on. So it was good. High school was good.
Yeah.
I knew this from my sister and brother being older than me. They always talked about things they wish they would have did in high school.
Yeah.
So when it came my turn to go to high school, I did everything possible. I joined every club. I was a president of the Black Student Union. I was a step master of Sigma Beta Club.
Right.
Doing dance classes. President of hockey. I was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Still everywhere.
Joining. Worst paper, I'm joining. That's what I was doing. You know?
Yeah, well, that's new. Let me sign my name.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
I'm with it.
Right.
That's cool, man. Hey, won't y'all let us know what type of clubs and communities and groups that you were involved in high school, and put your rep for your high school, yo. Yeah. I rep Mons Vegas all day, baby. I love it, man. So during high school, I know you was big on business. Did you already start business in high school?
So you can say yes. So I started cutting hair in 6th grade.
In the 6th grade?
6th grade.
Hey, the boy can cut too.
6th grade. So by the time I got to high school, I was already known as a bootleg barber.
Okay.
I had a whole situation going and doing parties.
Okay.
So I was doing parties at my house already in high school and cutting hair.
Right.
So I was doing those two full time and rapping and dancing.
You was rapping?
What?
I didn't know that.
Google Black Gangsta Soundtrack. It's DMX, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and me.
What?
On there. My group's called Maddox, M-A-T-X. M-A was for Mahogany, T-X is for Twixx. And we had the last song on the album, which was the actual theme song for the album.
Right.
And what happened was 50 Cent ended up leaving his old management.
Okay.
And had a song called Many Men. Many Men,
Yeah.
many men. On his song, he said, Slim switch sides on me, sent cats a ride on me. Damn, why you want me to die, homie? Pause. Slim, that he mentioned, is the one doing the soundtrack that I was on. And the movie was coming out. By 50 Cent saying that, the feds jumped in and stopped the whole project. So that album was still able to come out. I heard the album went gold. That's the case they owe me a plaque because I'm on the album.
We need that.
I need that plaque. 'Cause I heard it went gold, you know what I'm saying? I got the numbers. So the album came out, but the feds stopped the movie because of what 50 Cent said.
Right.
Yeah, but so that's 99. I'm an album with AP9. Me and DBs, we had like albums out here. We sold like 20,000 copies out of the trunk.
Wow.
You know, so
Hustling.
yeah, that's what I've been doing, hustling.
Yo, for all the new artists, let me tell you, sharing stuff on social media, okay, it's a hustle, but you only using your fingers.
Right.
We used to really have to be, I mean, not me, I ain't do music back then. I was dancing.
But you know how it went though.
Yeah, but
you gotta pull up with the trunk, pop the trunk,
man,
sell CDs.
in the heat and really be out there pushing CDs. You know, that's where hip hop originated.
Yes.
I remember back in the day, they were selling tapes.
Real talk. Tapes.
They recorded.
It meant something if your boy bootlegged your tape and you hear it playing in the block.
Oh, my.
You're like, oh, that's my song. How you get it? Oh, I bootlegged it.
Right.
You're like, all right. You know what I mean? Let him slide because he didn't pay you, but it's still good he playing your music. So,
That's super dope, man. So then after high school, what happened? Did you go to college? Or?
So what happened was after high school, I worked at the retail. Well, I was working in retail during high school, right?
Okay.
And I thought I was going to end up being like this big, district manager because I was already manager by the time I was 18.
Right.
And my father was like, nah, you got to go to barber school or college right now. You got a week to decide. So I went to Long Beach, California.
Okay.
Went to barber school there. My boy Shorty, my boy DT. Finished barber school, came back out here, worked at House of Fade's Barbershop, and went to college during school. That's when I took business class, entrepreneurship. I even took weight training in college. They got weight. I took weight training. Try to get 3 credits up. I said, I'm going to get easy class.
Let me get these credits up real quick,
But
man.
that's what I did, though. That's how, to me, it honed my business more. So when I ended up getting the business, I already took classes.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have to take a class to be a business owner. You know what I mean? But it is good to sharpen your skills.
Yeah, very true. I definitely agree with that, man. So then, okay, after you went to college, Long Beach, and then you went to barber school, and you was working and stuff like that. When did you get your... No, you know what? Let's not even go there yet.
Okay.
When did you start throwing the parties and the events? Because
great question.
we ain't gonna talk about how I met you and all that. But you know what I mean. I used to really be at the Ice House Lounge, man, and it was really a turn.
Let me say something about him real quick. I danced. I was a professional dancer for years, dancer and stepper. So when it comes to people who really dance, when we see another dancer, we appreciate it. Because most people don't know how to dance, like dance. Right. That's why I love when you would come, your boy would come, and y'all would dance because I'm like, see, that's dope.
Right.
Because y'all can really dance. And that's how I am, an entertainer.
Right.
So I loved it because it didn't make me have to go down to try to entertain because y'all was killing it. You know what I mean?
Upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs.
And once again, too, talking about supported and never asked for a discount, never asked for nothing free.
Yeah.
You always came, you was there, bro. So let me say that on the record.
Yeah.
You ain't never done that.
Yeah. I support for real.
For real. FR. All right.
Real 100, man. But what made you, when did you first throw your big event?
So, to answer the first question, my first party I ever did was in 4th grade.
4th grade.
Yep. My high school teacher asked me to DJ CC Cox. And I ended up being the DJ for Classy Cox Elementary my 4th and 5th grade year.
Wow.
And then when with JD Smith in North Las Vegas, I asked him, could I DJ? And it's like, no, we have a professional DJ. I'm like, I'm professional.
Right.
I said, I did for 2 years. They're like, you're a kid.
Right.
They're like, you're a kid. Like, you're a kid. We have a DJ. So because of that, I asked my mom and dad, I said, hey, can I throw parties at the house? Because I can't do it at school. They're like, yeah, daytime party school, like from 4 to 7.
Right.
Popping. So I built up a support group of parties from high school. So by the time I hit my senior year in high school, I was throwing big 18 and over parties.
Right.
You know, my biggest event was, you could say, Ice House. When I got to the Ice House, shout out to Terry Wade. Once I got to the Ice House Lounge, I was able to really implement the all-white parties. I seen Puffy do the all-white party, but nobody in Vegas, for the record, just so you know Vegas history, not bragging, but letting y'all know, theme parties in Vegas was not the thing. Nobody did theme parties on a regular.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was no person who did a regular theme party. So I was the first one to do the all-white annual, the all-black annual, the black and white annual, the Sage of Brown annual.
Yep.
So those got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point to where a lot of artists would reach out to me.
Right.
Like, hey, we'll be in Vegas this date. Can we come perform? I'm like, okay. Right. So that's how it ended up getting bigger.
Yeah, that's super dope, man.
Thank you.
And the parties used to be turned up. I remember the first all-white party I went to, right? I walk into the Ice House Lounge. I'm dancing. I'm doing my thing. And this girl, she taking shots. Hella shots, bro. And I'm she fine. I'm checking out. We start dancing. I pick her up to dance with her, right? And she throws up on me.
Oh, I didn't expect that coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my experience.
That was the white, bro.
The first all-white party. I got on all white. She threw all of my shirt and I just dropped her. Boom. And I was just like, I looked at her and was like, I cannot believe you.
Oh my God.
And but I'm so dedicated, I left. I went to Walmart back when it was still
24 hours.
I went to Walmart and went and got me another white polo and came back to the party and turned it out.
Turned it even more. Even more of a turn up.
Yeah, man. I turned it out, man, and it was a good time. So then after you was doing the parties and doing the club events and stuff like that, when did you purchase or open up your first barbershop?
Got you. So working at House of Fades for a couple years. House of Fades had to move from Lake Mead to MLK.
Yeah.
And once that move was coming into to be, I was saving up to buy a car. Right, okay. I had 2 cars already. This is doing the bling bling era, bling bling.
Okay.
Everything's about flossing. I didn't even own my house yet. I was doing a rent to own. I had 2 cars already paid off. Right. So I'm trying to get a 3rd car without owning my home. Young minded, right? So I was gonna cash out a Jaguar, and then when House of Fades had a meeting saying, "Hey y'all, we got to close this shop. We had a bad contract. They gave them a bad lease, whatnot. Okay. It's like we have to move to a new location. It's gonna take 3 months. Okay. So when they said that, I know my boy Bozy with Jam Time Studios had a Bozy shop, the Bozy Team Thirsty Thirst. So him and his pops had a studio on Lake Mead. I know there's an abandoned next door. Okay. So I went over there, got the landlord number, called the landlord, talked to him, and I told House of Fades, I said, hey, I found a spot. I could be House of Fades too. Yeah. And they was like, nah, Twixx man, just do your thing. So that's why I came with Fade 'Em All. Because they was like, do your thing. They gave me the go. And I got Fade 'Em All Barbershop at age 23.
23?
So at 23, I got my first barbershop on North Las Vegas. And then 2 years later, I got my first salon for Divas Only. And then after that, it just started rolling. It went from Divas Only to Fade 'Em All West to Fade 'Em All Centennial to Fade 'Em All Summerlin and PhD Salon to Fade 'Em All 3 Magic Curl and Fade 'Em All Summerlin and Ivory Salon.
I ain't even got nothing else to say. That's crazy, man. No, that's dope, man. So for all of the up and coming entrepreneurs out there, how hard is it to manage all of these businesses at once?
Great question. So when it's just you and your own business where you're just there, you're the manager, so it's easy.
Yeah.
When you leave, when you trust to have another business somewhere else, you got to have the right manager.
Yeah.
So what I've learned in my process is every time I open up a new shop, I have to go to my new shop myself.
Okay.
And while I'm there, for the first 6 months, I'm training the next manager.
Okay.
I have them right next, or her right next to me, and they see everything I do, how I handle situations, how I de-escalate things, how I delegate situations. And I'm like, you see what I did? Watch this, you see this? And I'm showing them, watch, if this happens, this will happen. And they'll see what happens from the whole flow.
Right.
With that being said, once I feel they're ready, and I'm ready to open up the shop, I'm like, okay, time to be the manager.
Right.
So I leave, and they become the manager of the shop.
Okay.
So I'm literally with them, hands-on, at least for 6 months.
Dope. That's dope. That's dedication, man. That's passion.
Yeah.
For real. You definitely got to be passionate. Yo, let us know in the comment section what you're most passionate about.
Yes.
I'll tell you, I'm most passionate about doing this show. Period. Hands down.
Dope.
Camera, mic, people, and I'm good.
Good. Action.
Action. Let's get it. So, earlier behind the scenes, you was telling me that you peaked out at 6 barbershops at one point.
I peaked out at 6 barbershops.
And how many salons?
5 salons.
That's 11 businesses, bro.
That is.
All at once.
All at once. But that's just the hair industry. I actually owned a nightclub called Exclusive. 2012 in a commercial center with Brady.
You owned a nightclub?
Yep. Brady, JB's, Maggie, Daddy. We had a nightclub called Exclusive, and it was popping, as they say. I also had a photography studio. The first, as far as I know of, the first black-owned photography studio.
Right.
It was called Tailor Made Photography. My last name is Taylor.
Yeah.
So Tailor Made Photography. That ended up burning down. Yep.
Half
the complex burnt down. Ooh. And that was the last building that caught on fire before it stopped. Right? Had insurance, but let me tell you something, though. Oh. Bad story. At the time I was married, and I asked my wife to put insurance on the business. She did, but she only put it for physical, not personal property. So after it burned down in front of our face because it's on the news. We rushed down there, it was still burning.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, got insurance, right? And she's like, yeah. And we checked it out. We didn't get not one dime because nobody got injured. We didn't have insurance on none of our.
I ran in that motherfucker.
Yep.
Burn my arm.
My Canons, my 7Ds, printers, all that going. But it's all right. I learned a lesson. Yeah. I had a used clothing store called Brand Newsed.
I seen that.
Yep.
I did
Brand Newsed. Yep. To where you can get high fashion clothes for real cheap. And then listen, if you came and didn't have any money and say you got a job opportunity, we give it to you for free.
Wow.
So you just pick your size out. Here's your outfit. Bam. I had a thing called 40 for 40, where I was trying to get 40 people to donate 40 dresses for girls in high school whose families got hard times.
Right.
We ended up getting 110 dresses.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Now 40 for 40. That just reminded me. I just seen some of your IG that said 40 under 40.
Yes.
What's
sir.
that?
So 40 under 40 is I'm glad you asked that. 40 under 40. The Review Journal throws a thing called 40 under 40 under the Vegas Inc. magazine. Okay. And they choose the most influential 40 people in Las Vegas under the age of 40.
Okay.
Right? And it's awesome because my sister, Alicia Taylor, she ended up getting it when she was in her 30s.
Nice.
And when I was 39 years old, they chose me as one of the 40 people, all these millions of people I got here, to be under 40 under 40. So it was a big blessing.
Man, that's a dope. Man, congrats on that.
Thank you, bro.
That's dope.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you've received. I'm sure you were receiving all kind of damn awards, man. For real. I know it was another one from Mayor Goodman.
Yes.
What was that?
Yes, that was a community service award, being a trailblazer in the community.
Okay.
I received one from Mayor Goodman, from Lawrence Weekly, Ricky Barlow.
Wow.
A lot of churches. Shea Moisture gave me an award.
Shea Moisture?
Shea Moisture.
Hey,
that's
Shea
what I'm
Moisture.
trying to be.
Hey,
you don't try and be over here smooth.
Whatever he got on, got him glowing like a mud. I need some. For the light skin still.
Give it a light skin edition.
Yeah, give it a light skin edition. Light skin, damn near white edition. I need that one. Straight up. Man, that's crazy, man.
Thank you.
So, I mean, like, every time you would accept one of those awards, what was that feeling like?
The feeling is great because I don't do any, unless it's a hair competition, I don't do anything to get an award or to receive an accolade. I do it because it's right, and I feel like a lot of times you receive your roses later.
Yeah.
Like the hard work you're doing right now, this is no cap. The hard work you're doing right now, you're working your butt off right now. The roses you'll get later. Because right now you're building, you working, people probably don't understand how much you're doing right now. Me, also if I was doing for the community, I was doing because I know like 90% of my money I receive comes from my community, like 90%. it's called an ebb and flow. There's no reason I can't give that money back somehow in some way. That's why I do free haircuts, giving out shoes. I got more shoes right now from the Aces because gave me shoes to give away. Wow. Because they know I'm going to make sure the community gets it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I never do anything for an award, but it's great to be recognized. Yeah. And I have children and nephews and nieces. So I have a room where it's all awards, and I want them to see those because I want them to strive for their best.
Yeah.
So every award I get, I appreciate it because I want my kids to know my dad works hard. Yeah. And I want to be better than my father.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man. I want to be better than my father too. Let me tell you.
That's it. That's the goal, though.
But I love it. I love it that you said that you have a room full of all of your accomplishments. You know, that's my goal. I've received a few awards or whatever, but
awesome.
I mean, it's more of not. It was more of like a certificate. Like, yo, we see.
No, that's
dope. You feel me?
I'm sorry.
No, you good. But you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want, to be able to walk into a room and just feel greatness. Right. You know, and I get a lot of that here at Cash Valley Music. We got a lot of signs up here. Right. You know, I chose this room particularly because of you got the Mamba mentality, to create, inspire, and it's just every time I see it, it reminds me like, okay, this is why we're doing this. Right. You feel me?
You know what I love too visually? Because they can't see it, but I love how it's black and white because what it is it makes the show be the color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right now, this is the color. Yeah. Because this is black and white.
Yeah, everything.
And we got to be the color.
Yeah, everything.
I get that.
Yeah, so my main focus around the brand is, you know, as far as my color scheme, speaking about colors, is I always put everything is on a dark palette, but everything sitting on top of it is bright and you know, just very vibrant and things like that, because it shows my story. You know what I mean? Like, to y'all and everybody else, I was shining, but on the inside, I was dying. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
But then I found a way to be positive, and I'm like, this is what it is.
That's deep.
So yeah, so the pain from the past never goes away.
Right.
I'm never gonna forget it.
Right.
It's part of my story, but this enlightened person that I am now, that's my future.
That's dope.
You feel me?
You can't say the words living life without taking a couple L's.
Man,
think about that.
I'm telling you.
To live life, it takes a couple L's.
Yeah.
Off top.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's needed.
Real. And another thing I wanted to give you a big shout out on, man, and I seen you was on the news for this just recently, that you were giving you get free haircuts, you know what I mean, for the community. Kids going back to school, y'all be doing free haircuts. That's super dope because people really need it, man. A lot of these single mothers out here appreciate that.
It's real.
Shit, you know what I mean? Real. They really, really do. But you were doing free COVID tests.
Yes.
Free at the barbershop.
Free COVID testing. We did vaccines and STD testings. All the barbershop, because like, you know what, we got to bring it to the barbershop. A lot of us, like, I'm not gonna lie, and it's bad, but it's true, I hate going to the doctor.
Right.
You know, so for me, it would almost take that for me to be a client of my barber, if I was a client of a barber, to have it at the barbershop to do it.
Right.
And I know it works because people, they're getting STD tests, they're getting, you know, if they're not getting a vaccine, they're getting vaccine awareness to understand how the vaccines work.
Right.
You know, and COVID testing, so I love it.
Yeah, that's super dope, man. So again, we focus on self-love, unity, and progression.
Yes.
So as far as self-love with everything that you do, how the hell do you manage to set a time for yourself, you know, to care about you, self-care for Twixx, for Robert, you know what I mean?
That's great question, and that's the hardest thing to do for me because I'm so busy and my schedule is so hectic that sometimes I can go months without taking a break for myself, or even sitting back to to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm so busy doing the labor, I don't get a chance to enjoy the fruits. Like, I just did a trip with my woman in Mexico, so that was great for 3 days.
Okay.
That was needed, but without those trips, man, you need a trip, or at least to unplug sometimes.
Yeah, just to unplug.
Yeah, so that's my hardest thing, to actually find time for myself.
Yeah, well, make sure you do that.
I will.
You know what I mean?
I will.
The second thing is unity.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Obviously, you do a lot with the community and stuff like that, but you doing a lot of stuff with the community doesn't necessarily bring unity. You see what I mean? So how do you get people to come together and work collectively?
So the big thing is, I love throwing events to where I can unite us. Right before the pandemic happened, shout out to Vashika. She's like my little sister, Vashika Willis. She is a family therapist.
Okay.
Matter of fact, good to have on your show in the future. But she's she's a family therapist, and she showed me the numbers when it came to black mental illness, especially with black men, because we don't talk to each other like that. We talk about sports, women, money, food. But we don't talk about food. We don't talk about how we really doing, like what you just said earlier. You know what I mean, about your past and going through things. People didn't know you was dying inside, but you smiling on the outside.
Right.
So we did a black awareness at my barbershop, all black men, about like 30 men in the barbershop, and we all said things we were going through, when I tell you it was so deep, and men were in there literally tearing, like men who've did 20 years in prison.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hardcore. But telling these stories, man, and tearing up because we never have an outlet. And a lot of times we feel like you can't tell your woman sometimes if y'all break up, she might be on social media and be like, that's why you was crying the other day.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I've had those kind of experiences.
So as a black man, it's hard. So that's one of the things I'm with is doing events to bring us together. Yeah. And now these men have a camaraderie with each other. They talk to each other. Yeah. So things like that in general. It don't have to be an event every time. It could be something on social media to where you ask questions. Like last night I posted, when's the last time you and your significant had a passionate kiss? And people are tripping.
My girl.
Hey.
and
the reason I asked that is because I thought about it with myself. I believe I was a passionate person, but I haven't passionately gave my woman a kiss in maybe a year.
Damn.
And it hit me. I said, I ain't really kissed her in a year. It's just hey babe, how you doing?
Right.
But I never gave her that, And when I did it, it surprised her because she expected to peck. And I kept kissing, and it just dropped her guard down. And then her face was like, I love you. I was like, I love you too.
Yeah.
And it hit me. I'm like, dang, I imagine how many of us adults go through that to where we live in life so much, we forget about things like that. And that's why I posted that.
Yeah, you really forget about the small things, especially as entrepreneurs like ourselves.
Yes.
And I'm sure like plenty of you out there, you really please make sure you set time aside for yourself. Yes. Your partner. We're talking about your life partner. You feel me? You got to make time for your partner. My girl just checked me on that shit too. and I appreciate it though. You know what I mean?
It's needed though.
Yeah. Communication is very, very important for you and your children, you and your partner, you and your coworker, your associates, your colleagues, everything, your whole team. Communication, self-love. Just unplug and don't forget about people, I promise you, because what you don't want to do is be at the top and be alone.
Man, can't do it.
You don't want to be alone. That's a shitty feeling. The journey on the way to the top is very lonely. You have a lot of very lonely nights and stuff like that. But a lot of it is because you become a workaholic. Yep. When you're passionate and dedicated to something, you literally become a workaholic, and all you breathe, sleep, and drink and think about is work.
You do. And to keep it real too, and it's sad to say, a lot of times on your journey, you'll have people rooting you when you're in your journey. But when you so-called make it, whatever that means to you, then they're like, oh, he made it or she made it. Yeah. Then they back off. Because now they feel like, it's crazy. Like, when you're the underdog, people are root for you. But when you're the favorite, they don't root for you anymore.
Ain't that crazy?
And so you got to know that. You got to have thick skin enough to know that they're not rooting for you anymore. Right. You know what I mean? And I explained to my nephew, he's under my belt. He's a barber now. He's 22 years old. I explained to him, I said, you know why I say things that happen to me out loud in the barbershop or on social media that happen bad? He said, why? I said, because people need to see you take losses somehow. Yeah. It's not being fake. I'm talking about real losses, man. This just happened to me. For real? Because if they constantly only see winning. Sad as it is, they gonna stop tuning in.
For real. And that's real.
They gonna stop tuning in. That's so you gotta let people know. I'm transparent. Yeah, this sucked. Man, I told you, my photography studio burnt down. Right. I got divorced. I lost business in my divorce. Right. Things happen. You know what I'm saying?
But it's relatable. You know what I mean? That's really big when you're doing stuff like we're doing, like especially when you're pushing any type of content. Right. It's important. It's very important to me, and that's why I structure the show the way I do, because you got to be relatable. Yes. I hate watching people that's just always professional, just all the time. Like
I can do that. Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, like do you wear sweatpants, shorts? You know what I'm saying?
Never sweats. No.
Yeah, anything.
Only slacks.
Yeah, they're just. It just seems like they're just so uptight all the time. Right. And it's like, I can be very professional, but when I'm doing this, I want it to just be real raw and uncut. Like, just chill, man. Right. Lay back. Right. Whatever we choose to do.
That's why I'm here. Like, before we get into the situation of what I plan on doing in the future, I've had people in that politician realm be like, well, you got to stop doing podcasts. You got to stop posting stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm me. I'm only running because I'm me. Right. And at the end of the day, the people know, I'm kind of fast forwarding, so I'm sorry.
No, do your thing.
I'd rather lose being real than win being fake. Right. So that's the case. If I were to start being fake, I'm not even doing what I need to do. I'm doing it for the community. So my big thing is like, for people to say I shouldn't do podcasts anymore, I shouldn't post unless it's about my so-called run. No, that's not real to me because I'm still me.
Yeah.
The people have a connection with me, they know me, so I'm going to keep giving you me. And I'm going to win by or die by me. You did.
Yeah. Yo, and that's exactly what I am. You feel me? Like, let me explain my name. I mean, you know, I'm Tim. Everybody know my real name. But it is what it is.
Right.
But my name, as far as what I'm doing, is JusB. JusB is not only for me, it's for everybody. It works for everybody. For an example, JusB Twixx. It works.
That was
Tim,
clever.
It works. You feel me?
That was good.
JusB Lawrence Weekly.
Yep.
It works.
Just be you.
Yeah, just be your damn self.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I cannot, for years, bro, I used to just always try to be something. Trying to be something. Something. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. And then stuff worked, but a lot of stuff didn't work. I had a lot of failures, a lot of losses. You know, let's not call it a failure. I had a lot of fails.
There we go.
Because it's not a failure until you stop trying.
Right.
You know
I did that post too the other day. Yeah. Oh my God.
So it's like, yo, let me try to just be myself. And it's working.
I want that shirt. Just be you.
Oh, it's on the way.
I need that.
It's on
Whatever
the way.
it costs, I'm pay for it.
It's on the way, man. I got some new merch coming in. I can't wait for it to get here. I'm so excited, man. I have a few of them. Literally, man, I just really focused on being myself, and it worked. And it blew my mind. Because I was like, I spent so many years trying to be something that I wasn't.
Right.
And it worked, some didn't. And now that I'm just being myself and I'm really allowing myself to really project my energy, my positive vibes, it works, bro. It freaking works, you feel me? Like, I always tell everybody, like, yo, positive vibes is what keeps you energized.
Oh, that's it. Hey, seriously though, I'm big on that. Energy's for real. You got to think about it. Not going too far deep in it, but energy doesn't die. It only transfers.
I'm telling you.
It only transfers.
I'm telling you.
So the energy that you have was here thousands and hundreds and thousands, millions before you got here.
Yeah.
It just happened to be, and you're the host of that energy right now. So when you get that, understand your energy, control your energy, and use it in a good way.
Yeah.
Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. So before we get to the last final questions, man, you brought up, you kind of already told him,
man.
I
kind of jumped the gun.
You was like, yeah, well, you know, if I lose, if I win, you know what I mean? So tell them what you're doing for North Las Vegas right now, man.
So my plan is 2022, I am running for mayor of the city of North Las Vegas. That's right. Not councilman, not running for mayor.
Mayor.
Yes.
The mayor.
Yes. And I'm born and raised in North Las Vegas. I've been doing for the city in general, and of course, North Las Vegas over 2 decades. Out of my own pocket, no nonprofit, no anything. Wow. Just doing for the community, not just for black people, for everybody. For everybody. As y'all see who know me, I do for the community in general. Yeah. And to me, what better way to actually be the mayor? That way I can have certain funds allocated where I could, you know, okay, we could put the money here, we could put the money there. You know, you need somebody who cares about the community, from the community, to have the community progress. So that's why I'm running. Man, that's super dope, man. Now, when you told your kids, your family, that you were first running, what was their response? They was like, cool. I'm not going to lie. Because I told them about 10 years ago. Okay. This is all a part of my plan. Oh, you've been manifesting it all this time. Yeah. So at the time, it would have been 2021, which is right now. But the state ended up pushing it back a year. Okay. So years ago, I was saying, in 2021, I'm running for mayor. Right. So I knew that, and they know that. They're like, some people are like, why don't run now? I'm like, no, it's not time now. Right. I have to wait. Right. And now it's the time. Damn, that's dope, man. One of the last questions I want to ask you before we get to the end of it, man, is it's been a lot of talk right now. It's mostly been in the music world, you know what I mean? As far as like our community missing things, you feel me? But what about the Las Vegas community do you think is missing the most? Okay. People say the word culture, and a lot of times I think they get it mixed up because we have culture right here. You know, Mario's Market, Jimmy's Market, that's a part of culture. Hey, that's my grandpa and my uncle. Right. You dig? Doolittle, the North Las Vegas Rec, we have culture out here. To me, as in my big plea to people in Vegas is, make sure you get a piece of this pie because the pie is going up. Real estate, you have to own a home. Yeah. Please get together, get your credit together right now. Get it together because the price is going to keep going up. Man. I think it's going to fizzle out a little bit, but like 5 more years, it's going to go up again. What's going to happen is we'll be out the game to where you can't even afford to live out here, to where it's like parts of LA, where it's like San Francisco, where it's like New York. Right. You get your hand in the pot right now. It's very necessary. And after you get it, you need your second house. I'll explain that real quick why. Because at the end of the day, you still got to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So the house you're in, technically you can't sell that because you got to stay there.
Yeah.
Your second house, right?
Pay for your first one.
Exactly. Pay for your first one and your retirement.
Right.
You know, so it's very important. We have to get a part of this monopoly. To win monopoly, you got to have property.
Yeah.
Or you just pass and go, pay somebody else.
Yep.
So please, let's change that and change that narrative and get this property we need.
Man, y'all heard the man. Make sure we change that narrative. Buy you a home. Yes. Buy 2, 3 if you can.
Right.
But do what you got to do to, you know, so that you're setting up for your future.
Yep.
You set up right now for your future. You may not get that instant gratification, but in the long run, you're going to love it. You're going to be sitting there chilling.
Yep. Seriously.
Oh, relaxing, sipping your little wine for all the winies out there.
And think about right now, like everybody, you know, with the housing, you know, it just ended to where people got to leave their houses right now. If you own your house, you can negotiate with your mortgage company. Like, hey, can I put this on the back of my loan? Can you give me 3 months before I pay mortgage? They'll work with you. When you rent, you ain't got no work. You're just hoping that, you know, the politicians put a new bill in to give you another month.
Right.
You know, we gotta get it out of that.
Man.
If you've been working the same job for 2 years, right? If your credit score passes 620, you can get a house. You know, if you're paying rent right now, say your rent for a 3-bedroom apartment is $1,700, 10 years ago it was only $900.
Man!
So if you'd have bought then, when you buy a mortgage, your mortgage stays the same.
Yeah.
Let's refi.
Right.
Rent keeps going up. So please, y'all, we got to get on top of that. We got to get our real estate. That changes everything. You can take equity out your house and buy a business. You can take equity out your house and send your kids through college. It's very important. In the last 50 years, black people own the least amount of houses we've ever owned. Right now, in the last 50 years.
Wow.
So we're slipping.
Yeah.
You know,
slipping.
So let's
we falling, but we can get up.
Get up. You did.
We can get up for sure, man. So, man, one of the last questions that I like to ask, man, is I mean, it's actually the very last questions. You know what I mean? Then I'm going to explain something to you. Then we're going to keep it pushing.
Indeed.
But if you could give one piece of advice, you know what? I normally say to the world, but I really want to focus on Las Vegas this time. If you can give one piece of advice to our Las Vegas community, besides the houses,
got you.
What would that be?
Know this. Know that you're in the entertainment capital of the world. Know that you're in the place that people are trying so hard to get to right now. Somebody in India, Russia, Africa. Their whole goal is to get to Las Vegas in America. You're already here. It's people spending billions of dollars as we speak. All you need is a little touch of it legally. Find out what it is. Find out what you love to do. Fill in that void. Become an entrepreneur if you can and get some of this money. You're in the greatest city in the world. Let's make it happen. You did.
I love it, man. Damn, he might have to come host my show once. He doing it, man. And again, man, let me tell you, man, black man to black man, Las Vegas person, friend to friend, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You feel me? I'm so proud of you. I've always looked up to you. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, this dude be grinding.
Thank you, bro.
You just always had your hands in the pot, not like in the money pot. You ain't taking money from people.
Right.
But you was just always in the community doing your thing and really grinding. And I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody else. I know you know a whole lot of people, but I know a whole lot of people too. And I will find you if you ever quit. If you ever, I'm going to come knock on the door.
I love that.
Mr. Taylor, get your ass up.
I love that.
It's time to go. Let's go cut somebody here or something.
I love that.
Let's go do something, man. And I really truly mean that. And I say that on every single show because I mean that.
That's important,
I keep track to with everybody I interview. I try to always keep some type of communication with everybody, whether it be a long time or a short time. You know what I mean? Because when you come on the JusB show, it's really about relationship building and just really having a spot to explore, put the message out there so y'all can understand like this shit is possible.
Right.
It's possible. But before I say my pieces of advice, man, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram under @VegasTwixx with 2 X's and also Instagram under Robert Taylor 4 NLV Mayor.
Yeah.
And on Facebook under Robert Twixx Taylor. Besides that, you can catch me at the Barbershop in Sahara in Buffalo, Fatal Mall Barbershop, and Fatal Mall Barbershop Centennial in Durango. You did.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. And my 3 pieces of advice go something like this.
Drop it.
I need you to smile, laugh, and definitely motivate. Inspire one to inspire all. And last but not least, drop it. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy JusB, and welcome to the JusB world, where all we do is focus on positivity, being better than yesterday,